Good morning and welcome to Financial Friday, your end of week financial update from your credit union. Hello there. I am Crystal Parker, Financial Education and Community Outreach Ambassador, and it is great to be with you today. This week, we're talking about the magic of savings. For so many people, having $500 in your savings account to cover an emergency is not the current financial reality, let alone 6 months of savings in the event of job loss or major financial hardship. Hopefully, this will be something that can change and is not the reality for many, that most of us have what we need in savings. But since that's not the current reality, what do we do? How do we get there? And how do we teach young people to focus on savings and making it magical? Well, it's Financial Capability Month and Credit Union Youth Month, and so we're focusing on that this month. We'll keep digging into this topic all month long, and we'll even have a seminar at the end of the month on raising financially responsible young people. But today, let's just focus on the magic of savings. So, what is so magical about savings and how do we do this? Well, first things first, we have to have a budget. As adults, our budgets look very different than they do for a young person. We sit down and we write down all of our various expenses, write down the income coming in and whatnot. But for children and teens, their expenses might look a tad bit different, and most of them could be wants, some needs, but this is different. And what their earning capabilities are may be very different. Some parents are financially able to give their child an allowance. Some parents and grown-ups are not able to do that. So not all young people have funds that they're regularly getting. And so their expenses can be unpredictable at best unless they have a job. And even then, their income might be pretty unpredictable depending on scheduling and whatnot. But let's start with what their budget should look like. When helping young people think about their money, it's good to encourage them to think about 3 things: that they need to save, that they should share, and that they should spend. Now, talking about sharing is always interesting and a great topic with young people because for many, they think it's just sharing with somebody, like a friend or a sibling or whatnot. But when we talk about sharing, we're talking about charitable giving. For each of us, what we are passionate about and want to contribute to the greater good can look very different. I use one of my daughters as an example. She is a lover of animals, and so she typically chooses to help the otters at Maymont, maybe sea turtles at one of the aquariums that are working with them, and various things. But sometimes she has other organizations she likes to help, such as a local food pantry. But helping her think about helping others is really important because it's a choice we have to make in our money. And hopefully getting them to think about what are the needs and wants for others outside of themselves. We all know that children can sometimes be inherently selfish, but they're also really good-natured at heart if we help foster that thought of thinking of others. But you heard me mention it, there's also spending that they like to do. And for any of us, that spending that we do on those wants shouldn't be the first thing that happens in our budget. The most important thing is to save. For all of us, we have to pay ourselves first, whether we're 5, 10, 15, 25, 60, however old we might be. Savings is the most important thing we can do for ourselves. And when we're setting a budget, savings is an expense that we make. And it's one of the best ones we can ever make for ourselves. So we have to pay ourselves first. And then think about, what do we have available? What can we comfortably donate to a cause that matters to us? And then thinking about how we want to spend. And even with that, we still have to spend with a plan. Now, when it comes to our savings, we also have to think about what's our saving goal. As an adult, it might be building up that $500 for an emergency fund. It might be building towards that 6 months of income in the event of a major financial hardship. And it could be that once we've hit that milestone, that we're also saving for other goals, perhaps vacations, college, whatever those things might be. But also, we have to help young people think through those savings goals. It's important to just get in the habit of saving, but to also think about those things that they're wanting to save for. And it could even be that their spending money is also going into saving because they want to buy some cool new thing that they're wanting, whether it's a phone, a tablet, a video game system, even just a game. But getting them in that habit of putting the money aside and preparing for that expense. Most of us don't walk out and just start buying a new sofa, a car, all kinds of different things that we might need. We start saving and we prepare for doing those things. And so we have to teach young people to do that. And we also can admit when it's hard for us, or using past mistakes or current to help young people learn. None of us all have it figured out, and we make mistakes along the way. And it's important for young people to hear that from us too. So help young people save and getting in that habit, and then it can be magical, because when you have the money in your savings account when you need it, it does feel a little bit like magic, and savings is magic, and it can take us on really great adventures. I hope this was helpful for you, and that you'll join us again next week where we dig deeper into this topic of raising financially responsible young people. And I hope you'll join us later this month for our seminar. Have a great Friday, everybody.